Hey guys, Chart Stoppers back with another video. In this channel we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their daily chart. It's important to know these areas before you buy any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. And also, if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options trading, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with this channel and support and resistance. And just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. I also provided a link in the description for Webull. You could use that to start an account and you'll get 2 free stocks. I also provided a link in the description for Robinhood. You could use that to start an account. You get 1 free stock. Also, just to let you know, I will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation for a video, leave a comment below and I will try to get to it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. Okay, so let's get into the market today. Today is October 1st, 2021. It is the start of a new quarter and a new month in the market today. So you could see here the S&P 500 is up today 1.2%, and the Dow is up 1.5%, and the NASDAQ is up 0.71%. So a big day in the market today. Everything is green. Everything's looking nice. You could see we're not looking good around 10 o'clock today. The market opened and everything seemed to sell off, but right around 11 o'clock, things started picking up. And it looks like we are just going very green into the end of the day here. You could see everything is just picking up into the close here, and it's looking very nice to end the week. And we needed that to end this week because we've been having a pretty rough week in the market lately. And, this past month has been pretty bad. September has been not a good month in the market, so hopefully that is a sign of things to come for October. But we will see what happens here. So let's take a look at the stock I wanted to take a look at today. Today I'm going to be covering Skillz. I have done one other video on this one before. I will provide a link in the upper right hand corner. You could go back and check that out if you want to see how I got my chart to where it is now. You should be seeing that link right about now. But anyway, Skillz is trading at $9.80 at the time of this recording. It is down 15 cents today, which is the equivalent of about 0.2%. On the week, this stock is down 14.71%, and that is just in a week, okay? In the past month, it's down 18.75%. In the past 3 months, this stock is down 55%. Okay, in 3 months, it's down 55%. So just think about that, all right, as we're going through this video. And as you're looking at the chart, you could see, it is definitely down. In the past year, it's only down 20% in a year. So you can obviously see, the 52-week low on this one is $9.35, and we actually just hit that yesterday. So we're pretty much at the 52-week low yesterday, and we're not far off of that today. So let's get into this chart here. And most of you should know, if you are invested in this stock, it was a SPAC. So the base of this stock was around $10. That's where it started off from, around $9 and, from $9 and let's say 50 cents to $10 was the base. And it came from a SPAC, turned into a real company. And then you could see it had a huge run up here. Went from $10 all the way up to a 52-week high of $46.30. And we hit that on February 5th of earlier this year. So that is a huge run up. And look at this run up here. All right, you could see it just went straight up. And there was a lot of euphoria earlier in the year at the end of 2020 and earlier this year in January and February around SPACs. Everybody was investing in them. Not a lot of people knew what they were investing in. Everybody was just buying them and, making a lot of money off them, but nobody really knew what they were getting into when they were buying these companies. A lot of these companies, they weren't really good companies, okay? They were just going public just to make money from going public, okay? Just from going through the deal of becoming a SPAC. And all of a sudden the bubble burst in February, okay? You could see that here from this chart pretty clearly here, all right? You could see 52-week high, $46.30, and then the bubble burst in the middle of February, and it went straight down. Now look at when it went straight up. Look at this huge gap it left here between, it looks like February 3rd and February 4th here. That's a huge gap going from $31.64 to around $37. That's like a $3 gap in one day there. So you could see, you should have saw that coming, the big drop that was going to happen, because you had no consolidation on the way up and a huge gap left behind. So, was no surprise that this was going to come back down and consolidate in these areas that it did not on the way up, and it was going to fill those gaps back in. So on the way back down, you could see there was no support in this area here, and that is why on the way down, nothing was able to catch it while it was falling. So this was basically a falling knife in this area here. Our first support level was around $22.75, but that did not hold up. That is now our resistance level. As you can see, after our first bounce off of our first support, that turned into resistance. Okay, so $22.75 is resistance. As you can see back here on the other side of our highs here, that was forming resistance on the way up. We had a little bit of trouble breaking through that point here. This was around December, the middle of December here of last year, before the big run up. We had a little trouble breaking through that point, and now on the other side of this big run up, you could see that we have not been able to really break through there since then. So that is going to be a problem going forward, this $22.75 level. As you can see, we haven't been able to crack through that yet. So that will be resistance moving forward. But let's move down the chart here and we'll take a look at our support area. It looks like around $12 and let's say 60 cents is where this thing finally bottomed out after the big fall here. You could see it did finally bottom out right here, and then we had our first bounce, went all the way up to around that $22 region. Didn't quite make it all the way up there, and then we had another fall. We had another bounce off of our support here at that $12.60 area, and then we did go up, test that $22.75 resistance, got rejected off of there. We did briefly break through there. It was a false breakout, and then we fell back down. Tried to test it again, were unable to break through again, and then we fell back down and ultimately fell through our support, and now we are stuck below that support, which turned into resistance here, and we are in a bad spot because now it looks like, we are stuck below that resistance, which was our former support, and we're just stuck in no man's land down here around that $10 area here. As you could see, as I zoom in, we are below all of our moving averages here. Our 200-day moving average is all the way up here, and we are well below that. The 200-day moving average is sitting around $19.67. We are way below that. Our 50-day moving average, I'll get to that in a minute, is right here. That is sitting around $11.72. Our 21-day moving average here in the light blue, that is at $11.10. We are below that. Our 8-period moving average right here is at $10.69. So we're well below all of our moving averages. but I want to get to this 50-period moving average here in the dark blue, because you could see I have a red trend line here showing the downtrend that we are stuck in, and that is our 50-period moving average. You can see my trend line pretty much covers up my moving average here, because that is what's acting as resistance for this stock lately. We're unable to get above that 50-period moving average, and the trend line I drew pretty much just goes along with my moving average, and that is going to be very important in the next couple weeks here, going to about the 15th of October, because if we hold this support line around, it looks like $9.75, if we're able to hold that support, because as you can see, we have bottomed out, it looks like, around that $9.75 support line. As you can see, that has held up in the past, and that is where we started from as a SPAC. So if we can hold that and not go below there, and we keep riding along there, you know, the stock's going to have to either hold that support and break above our moving averages here, and ultimately break out to the upside, or it's going to have to stay below all of our moving averages and have those keep acting as resistance and break down to the downside below our support and move even farther lower here. So we'll see what happens in the next couple weeks. We're going to have to keep an eye on this because it's going to have to make a decision here by October 15th. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. Let's take a look at our weekly chart for a closer look, see if we could find anything here. And you could see this week, it looks like, no, not this week, but it looks like our 8-period moving average on our weekly chart has been acting as resistance for a while here. You can see this white moving average is our 8-period moving average, and we're going to need to break above that if we want to gain any momentum. You could see that's acting as strong resistance going back to, looks like July, when we fell below there, and we haven't been able to break above there since. Okay, so that's acting as strong resistance. You could see we've been trading up to it these past 5 weeks, but we get rejected and fall back below it every time these past 5 weeks. So we need to get back above that first, and then worry about getting above our trend line next. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. That'll be the first thing. So keep an eye on this 8-period moving average, this white one, on our weekly chart first, okay, to gain some momentum. Switching back over to the daily chart for one last look, and that's about it, guys. So keep an eye on this for the next couple weeks. We'll see what happens. It's either going to have to hold this support down here at 975 and break out to the upside, or it's going to have to move lower if this resistance holds up. So that's it. That's my update. If you guys liked it, make sure you hit that like button. Really helps me out, really helps the channel out. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time on Chart Stoppers.